This is Metatherapy, where we talk about therapy itself, not advice, not diagnosis, just understanding the process so you can use it better. Each episode of Metatherapy is psychoeducation, not therapy. If something resonates, it's meant to be language you can bring back into your own work. What if I told you that ChatGPT can make your therapy dramatically more effective, and it can also quietly help you avoid it? AI is becoming people's late-night therapist, journaling partner, relationship coach, and emotional support robot. So let's talk about it. Can ChatGPT replace therapy? Should it? And how do you use it without accidentally stalling your growth? By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when AI is helpful, when it becomes avoidance, and how to use it strategically between sessions. So let's get into it. The wrong question is AI good or bad for mental health? That's like asking whether books are good or bad for mental health. The real question is, what function is it serving? Because ChatGPT isn't a therapist, it's a cognitive amplifier. And amplifiers make whatever is present louder. If you're reflective, it can sharpen insight. If you're avoidant, it can strengthen rationalization. If you're anxious, it can become a reassurance loop machine. AI doesn't create your patterns, it just magnifies them. And that's the part no one's really talking about. Let's clarify something important. Therapy is not just advice. It's not just reframing. It's not just tell me what to do. Therapy is nervous system regulation, relational feedback in real time, pattern interruption, attachment repair, emotional tolerance building, and accountability. You are not just paying for insight. You're paying for co-regulation, for someone to sit with your discomfort without fixing it, to notice when you deflect, to challenge you when you perform self-awareness instead of practicing change. So these are some things that AI cannot do. They cannot feel the shift in your tone. They cannot notice dissociation. They can't track subtle relational defenses, and they can't provide embodied presence. Insight without regulation is just elegant stagnation. Now, let's be fair. ChatGPT is extremely useful for mental health when used properly. It's excellent at organizing emotional chaos. If your thoughts feel scrambled, AI can help you structure them. You could say, here's what's happened. Help me identify themes. And look, that is very powerful. It can also identify cognitive distortions. It's very good at spotting black and white thinking, catastrophizing, and mind reading. It can also help in practicing hard conversations. You can role play a boundary setting conversation before you have it. That's rehearsal. And rehearsal builds confidence. It can also provide psychoeducation, attachment styles, trauma responses, communication frameworks. It's kind of like having a mental health textbook that talks back. ChatGPT can also help between session processing. Instead of spiraling for a week, you can structure reflection. And then used this way, AI doesn't replace therapy. Instead, it strengthens it. Here's where we need to be honest. AI becomes unhealthy when you use it instead of having real conversations. You process your resentment with a robot, but never talk to your partner. That's avoidance disguised as growth. You can also use it for reassurance loops. If I send this text, is that okay? Do you think they're mad? Was I wrong in this? That can actually feed anxiety and not resolve it. You could also ask it to diagnose other people. What personality disorder does my ex have? That's control seeking, not self-examination. You could also use it to confirm your narrative. If you were to prompt it in a biased way, it will often mirror that bias. It's not challenging you unless you ask it to. And let's be truthful here. Most people don't. They ask it to validate themselves. It gives you language. Therapy gives you friction. Growth lives in the friction. If you're going to use ChatGPT, use it like this. Step 1, dump. Write everything you're feeling. No editing. Step 2, distill. Ask, what patterns do you see in what I wrote? And then step 3 is to differentiate. You want to ask it, where might I be avoiding responsibility or distorting this? That question alone changes everything. And then step 4 is to design. This is where you might ask, what is one emotionally mature action I could take next? Not 10, 1. Then go and do it. AI is for clarity. Real life is for courage. Now let's go a little bit deeper. Anxious attachment may use AI for reassurance. Avoidant attachment may use it instead of vulnerability. Disorganized attachment may oscillate between the two. AI can become a safe, non-judging presence, a substitute for relational risk, or a projection screen. If you feel more comfortable confiding in AI than in people, that's not shameful, but it's information. Growth requires eventually bringing that material into real, live relationships. Can AI ever temporarily replace therapy? Short answer, temporarily, yes. Long term, no. If someone is on a wait list, has a short-term financial barrier, or is between therapists, AI can provide structure and reflection, but it cannot provide ethical accountability, clinical assessment, crisis support, trauma processing, and relational repair. It's a supplement, not a substitute. Here's the real risk. AI makes you sound self-aware, but sounding self-aware and being transformed are not the same thing. You can articulate your trauma beautifully and still repeat it. You can understand your attachment style and still avoid vulnerability. Awareness is step 1. Behavioral change is step 2. Relational courage is step 3. Don't confuse eloquence with evolution. Here's your micro action for the week. Before your next difficult conversation, open ChatGPT and ask, help me say this in a clear, emotionally regulated way. Then close the laptop and actually have the conversation. That's the difference between reflection and growth. If this episode helped you think differently about AI and therapy, share it with someone who's therapy curious or AI curious. And if you're using AI between sessions, let me know how and why. Used well, it's a great tool. Used poorly, it's a shield. You get to decide which. I'm Dominic Adori, and this has been Meta Therapy. I'll see you next week.